So let's start the session now. And as you said, we have discussed elements of C. Right. So what we learned in elements of C, I have covered different types of elements like a character set and what are the keywords in C. What are keywords? Keywords are also called reserved words. So the importance of these words are these keywords have built-in meaning in the C language, default meaning. Okay, they are meant to use for special purpose. So these keywords cannot be used as identifiers. Our user purpose identifiers cannot be used, right? So these are the special words or reserved words which must be used only when there is a requirement of those words. Other than that, we cannot use these words as an identifier. That means user does not have any flexibility to use as per their wish. Okay, it's not possible. For example, you take int. Int is an integer. That means we need to use this one int whenever it requires declaration. Declaration of some variable, and that to that variable if we are using as integers, then only we use int. For example, char we again is used to declare any variable as a character, okay, which takes 1 byte of value, 1 byte of space in memory. Okay, so these are the two keywords. So like that, 32 keywords are there, and these 32 keywords we cannot use as an identifier. Remaining any other word we can use by following certain rules, but these keywords cannot be used. Okay, so what are the identifiers? Identifiers, all the constants and variables will come under identifiers. That means except these keywords, remaining all will come under identifiers. But there are certain rules to follow to use the identifiers. Like we can have any alphabets, numbers, and a special character only underscore is allowed. Remaining any special characters are not allowed as an identifier. For example, I cannot use at the rate. I cannot use dollar symbol. I cannot use percentile symbol. Okay. Except underscore, remaining any special character is not allowed. Right? So what are the rules we have discussed? There are 5 rules. Okay. I think in the earlier class only I have shared all the 5 rules. But very important rules are the identifiers should not start with number. Okay, numericals, and it can start with underscore, like let's say example sum. Okay, sum is an identifier, summation. Sum underscore 123 is correct, underscore sum is correct, but 123 underscore sum is invalid. Okay, understand invalid also. Then can I have sum at the rate 1? Wrong. It's again invalid. So special characters are not allowed, and it should not start with digits. Okay. So these are the very important rules we need to follow while we use identifiers. Now, what are the variables we can use? Any word you can use. Your name can be used. Your name as an identifier variable. You can declare, but always we use identifiers, variables which are appropriate to our function, okay, and which are appropriate to our programs. For example, I am writing summation program, then definitely I use identifiers like sum, add, okay, and addition, summation. These kind of identifiers I use. For example, I am going for to find the even numbers, okay, then I use even, odd, right, even integer, odd integers, like this. These kind of identifiers will be used, not anything else. That means we'll not use any different kind of identifiers, but we use appropriate keyword, identifiers, not keywords. Okay, and keywords are only like declare some functions, or declare some variables. Then you can use for special functions like loops, while loop, do while, for loop, and the break statement, continue statement, go to statement, printf. All these no different ways, not printf, remaining all are keywords, right? The last class we have discussed up to integers, correct? I mean data types. We discussed data types. Now data types, in the data types I told you to write down only few important things, like character is important, and integers are important, and float and double. Okay, and very important thing is here, you need to understand what is the memory space required. This is also very important to remember, because it will be asked most of the time in interviews. So what they will ask, now just tell me what is the memory space that is occupied for a data type character. Now the first column you see, all these are data types. Character is a data type, integer, float, double, all these are data types. And they'll ask you what is the size. Now the third column you can see the size the character will take, 1 byte. So what is the meaning of this one? That means if you declare any variable as a character data type, let's say for example I write char x. Now x is a variable of type character, and when you write this instruction, the C compiler automatically reserves a 1 byte of space. Okay, 1 byte space. You all know 1 byte is like one memory cell, like 8 bits. So every byte, if you see, it can take the range of -128 to 127. This is the range. Okay. Now this is for signed, this is for unsigned. And integers. Now when they ask, most of the time they'll ask integers and float. They'll focus more because most widely used data types. Now the data type integer, what is the space, memory space that takes, okay, in the memory? Then you must answer as 4 bytes. 4 bytes of memory it can take. 4 bytes means 32 bits. Okay, 4 bytes of memory will be allocated for a variable of data type integer. That's the meaning. Now for example, I'll write int a. The here a is a variable, and a is a variable. This particular variable is declared as an integer, and it takes the memory space of 4 bytes. So that's the meaning of the instruction. Float, integer and float takes the same space, that is 4 bytes. But double is also a type of float, but it takes 8 bytes. It's large in size. Now whenever you want to go for large data type, that too in decimal points, then you can go for double. So I think you all understood, and you already know what is int, what is float, what is double, right? I hope that one, because integers will take only integer values, float will take decimal numbers, that's it. So this much is enough to understand. Next, constants, you all know what are the different types of constants. Numerical constants, character constants, string constants. In numerical, decimal, octal, hexadecimal. In decimal, integers and real numbers. Okay, real constants. No, all these things are not that much required. Okay, I'll tell you what are valid and what are invalid. These are very important. Valid decimal integers like 0, 1, 2, 3, 3705, 23,759. These are the examples you can see. So below which invalid you see. Now when you take a character as an integers, okay, you cannot have decimal number like this. 2.5 is not possible. 3 hash pi, illegal. 98 space 5, no blank space is allowed. Don't give any blank space. And sometimes when you write on a notebook, let's say if you want to write 66,784, usually we give 6 comma 784, but this is not allowed in C. 6 comma 784 is illegal. Okay, invalid integer constants. Now what are characters? See, now these are the floating numbers. 0.5, 0.0034, 34.435. These are the examples of valid floating type. Now, what are characters? Characters is a single character enclosed in a single quotes. If you enclose in a single quote, it's a character. If you enclose in a double quote with a group of characters, that is a string. Okay, there is a difference between character and string. Character is only one character. Okay, one alphabet I can say. Alphabet or integer, any symbol, anything. Everything is treated as a character. If you put it in a single quote. If you put it in a double quote, but with a group of characters, that becomes a string. Okay, so understand between character and size. This is also asked in the interviews. Okay, what is the difference between a character and a string? Okay, you need to answer like this. If anything that is there within single quotes is a character. A group of characters in double quotes is a string. Now, what are invalid characters? So let's say 4 in single quote. You can see the here single quote is there, but the problem is group of characters are there. FOUR, 4 characters are there. Okay, it's a wrong. It's a invalid. Second, you see, I have only single character, but it is in double quote. Again, it's a invalid. Let's say I have single quote, but I'm not giving any space between quotes. Now, space is also treated as a character. Remember, for example, I can give single quote open and close in between a space. That is also treated as a character. That is valid. But here, space is also not given. When space is also not given, it's a invalid character. Now, for example, I have given Y, but no quotation here. Okay, no single quote, no double quote. That means it is also invalid. Double quote means again invalid only. Let's go forward. Uh, now these are the ASCII values. You all know this one. Capital A to capital Z ASCII equivalent values are 65 to 90. Small a to Z 97 to 122. 0 to 9 48 to 57. Okay. Just the semicolon is 59. All these are the equivalent ASCII values. What is ASCII? American Standard Code for Information Interchange. Okay. So it's a standardization. Now what are strings? I told you. If you put it in double quote, it becomes a string. What are variables? Variables are any alphabets. Like it could be a single variable, or it could be a word, or it could be a very lengthy word. Okay. Now they are called variables. What is the purpose of variables? Variables are used to store any data. Okay. Now I'll also explain with a example. Right. I'll take one program. In that program, I'll explain everything. Like what is an identifier, what is a variable, what is a constant, what is a character. Okay, what is an integer. All these things I'll explain. Okay, don't worry. So for time being, just understand the subject like this. Okay, with theory. Right. Practical will do. So you see here, all these are the data types. Int is a data type, float is a data type, char is a data type. Here again, int is a data type. Now x is a variable and also called as in general identifier. Salary again is a variable. Grade is again another variable. X, Y, Z and total. All these are also variables. Now, is there any rule here to use certain kinds of words? No, there is no rule here. You can use any word. Is it mandatory that we need to use X only? No, you can use A, B, C, anything. Only salary we have to use? No, in this example, there is a program related to salary. That's why they are using salary. Maybe related to marks. That's why they are using grade. No, is it really required to use grade? No, you can use your name as a variable. There is no such rule in C. So that is the flexibility in C. We can use any words as variables and we can store any constant in those variables. That's the advantage. Now this is called declaration. First you need to understand how do you declare. How do you declare any variable? So the syntax here is write down this one. Okay, syntax. I'll give you the time. Okay, don't write now. Syntax is data type space variable name like this. Data type is integer, variable name is x here. Data type is float, variable name is salary. Got it? Right. Now how do you initialize variable? Initialize means what? What is the meaning of initialization? Initialization means assigning some constant to variable. Okay, assigning. So here when I'm saying assigning, it means that is an operator. Okay, it's one of the operator that is called assignment operator. We are using assignment operator. Now when you assign some value to a variable, that is called initialization, and that too you are doing in the declaration itself. That is called initialization. For example, you store some value somewhere in the program, but that is not called as initialization. It's just an assignment. You are using one operator called assignment operator, but when you do the same thing during the declaration, it is called initialization. Initialization means in the starting itself you are assigning some value to some variable. See the examples. Okay, see the examples. The examples like int a equal to 5. So here equal to, single equal to is not equal to operator. It's called assignment operator. Okay, it's called assignment operator. Now here 5 is assigned to variable a, and it is of data type int. In between int and a there is a space. This is what you have to observe. Okay, at the end of the statement I have a semicolon. This is a syntax. See, float is a data type, space x, x is a variable, 8.9 is a constant, and I'm assigning this 8.9. That means assigning means I'm storing this 8.9 in this variable x. How do I do this one? By using operator called assignment operator. Now this here equal to is called assignment operator. Y equal to 10.5. 10.5 is assigned to y using this operator. Char ch equal to y. Int I m n total. Okay, total equal to 0. Initially I'm using total equal to 10. Okay, now this is called initialization of variables. All right, now let's see expressions. These are certain expressions like arithmetic expressions, relational expressions, logical function call. We'll discuss these things later. Okay, compound statements, comments, input output function like printf and scanf. Okay, very important to understand. Now what are conversion specifications? Percentile c a single character, percentile d for decimal integer, percentile f for floating numbers. Okay, now let's understand this one with example also. Let me open turbo c also. Just give me a second. Okay, now let's save the program first. Save as. Now I'll give the name like you know hello world. Let's print hello world for time being once again, right? So what the syntax we have learned? Hash include. Remember, did you all remember? Hash include stdio dot h. I told you the importance of header files. Std is a standard input output. Dot h is a header file extension. Okay, for special functions we need to use hash include, sorry, conio.h. This is also very important, right? Void main. I told you in the last class what is the importance of main function. Without main function there is no C program. The default function is main function. Okay, let me put it everything in comments so that you'll understand. Main is a default function. Okay, default function, void main. All right, then open the main function. Then let's write int a equal to 10, b equal to 5. Okay, let me give comma here. See, I think I explained this program last class. Okay, now let's understand what we are doing here. I will put it in comments. No, I'm going double. I'm using double slash, which means I'm using comments. Comments are very important for every instruction for better understanding any program. Here, what is an int? Write all things. Int, it's a data type. Okay, remember the words. What is a category? Understand? Here. What is a? It's a variable. Now, in general, it's we can call it as an identifier. What is b? Same thing. It's a variable. Again, c is also same, but at the end we are using semicolon to terminate the statement. Okay, now let me write a instruction like c equal to a plus b semicolon. Okay, double slash comments I'm writing. Now a b c you all know, but here you need to understand what is equal to. What is equal to here? It's a assignment operator. Remember this word, assignment operator. Okay, this is one thing. Next, here what is symbol plus? You all know this one. The same thing which you all know. Okay, addition symbol. Once you know all these basics, all high-end programs are very easy. Okay. Next, I want output. Okay, for output to print the output, we need to use printf. Okay, printf percentile d. When I use integers, I have to use percentile d, comma. My output is present in variable c. Okay, I want output in a variable c. Now let's come down here. Now I'll write the one function called clr scr, which is nothing but clear screen. In turbo c++, clr scr is very important, otherwise we'll not get output. And one more function, get ch, get all the characters into the c program. Okay, close the main function. Right, now you need to check. Right, I'll write comments here also. uh, percentile d, percentile d, it's for integers. Okay, it's for integers. Then what is printf here? Output function. Okay, to get the output we need to use a printf function, right? To take the input we need to use scanf function, right? Now let me go to file and save program. This file is saved. Now go to compile and the shortcut key is alt F9. Now always see this message: zero warnings, zero errors. Okay, press enter, then go to run or use control F9. So what is the answer I got? 15. Okay, control F9 I have pressed, I got answer 15. So what are the values we have taken? The values we have taken 10 and 5, that's why we got answer 15. Take this screenshot, this program right. Let's say to print numbers 1 to 10. Shall we do this one? 1 to 10 numbers. That means I want in the output number 1 to 10. That's what I want. In the output I want 1 to 10. How do I do? Let's say int. I'll write int. I'll take the variable x. Variable x. And initially I'll give the 1. Okay. Now I want output to print. So printf percentile d comma x. Now what do I get? Output. Output I get number 1. Okay, output I'll get 1. But it is not enough. I want number 2, 3, everything. Right? So it should be repeated 1 to 10. It should be repeated all the time. Now how do I do repetition? Now I'll write x equal to x plus 1 for increment. That means it will go to the next number. Now x now x becomes 2. Okay, initially it is 1, now it is 2. Right? Now can I write any other condition? I want to write condition here. I'll write condition if x is less than or equal to 10. If this condition is true, then print the value. If the condition is not true, come out of the loop. Okay. If x less than or equal to 10, x equal to initially 1, condition is true, it will print x value. Next x will become 2, again it will check the condition. So up to 10 it will check. Okay, up to 10. Next x equal to 2, 2 is less than or equal to 10, condition is true, again print the value true 2. Then next instruction, again increment, this time x will become 3. Again check the condition, 3 less than or equal to 10, condition satisfied, enter the loop, print the value of 3, again increment the value of 3 by 1, which is 4 now, again check the condition. So how long it will check? Till the x becomes 10. The moment x becomes 11, the condition fails, comes out of the loop. Okay, and terminate the program. Let me see. No errors, no warnings. Okay, I got 1. It's not repeating. Else will write printf end of the program. Okay, right. So x equal to 1 here. If x less than or equal to 10, condition satisfied, print the value of x. The value of x is 1. X equal to x plus 1, or I can write here x plus plus double increment. Okay, so one time only it is checking. So instead of that, let me change the function. So one time condition, if it is not possible, then we can go with another function like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 I got, but I want space. Let's have tab space. Okay, we'll see this one. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that means I got in between numbers tab space, right? Tab space is given. Not only tab space, we can also give, how I given this one? See, backslash t. T is here, tab space. Now if I give n, what happens? See what happens. Sorry, every number will be printed in the new line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like this. Understood? Now I have printed numbers 1 to 10. I got the output. Now this simple programs will be asked in the interview. Okay, very simple fundamentals. But most of the students will fail to answer even these fundamentals. That means they are unable to understand the logic of the program or logic of the problem. Anything we need to think logically. So C is always not about the syntax. You can learn the syntax in just 1 week. Entire C syntax can be learned in 1 week. Every day spending 1 to 2 hours within 1 week, we can understand the syntax. But why practice is required? Because to understand the logic only, right? Because earlier I have done with if else, then I understood that only one time the logic will be executed and if will not be possible. So for this, I need to use iterations, which is nothing but loop, and I have used while loop. Okay, you'll understand the while loop, do while, all these things I'll explain here. While is a iterative statement. Okay, one kind of statement. Got it? Now, if you understand the logic, then definitely you'll get the solution. But what do you mean by using C variables as a sum function? Here, sum is a variable, and that particular word sum can be used as a function name also. And C variables can be used in different ways in different application. Okay, if you understand, it's fine. But let me know what's your question clearly. These are conversion specifications. That's what we have seen in the programs also. I have used percentile D for decimal numbers, I mean integers. Percentile C for characters. Whenever you use characters, you have to use percentile C. Percentile F, a floating point number. Percentile O, octal numbers. Percentile X, hexadecimal. Percentile S, string. Percentile U, unsigned decimal integers, which are nothing but positive integers. Okay, so reading the inputs, that means like scanf function. I'll explain scanf function and printf function, the importance, get char and put char. Okay, we'll see those things. See here the importance of other types of data types, right? Let's say here I have used integers. Now let me use float. float x equal to, I can write anything. Let's say 10.52. Here 10.52 is what? Is it uh, decimal number? Float is used for decimal points. That means for remaining numbers except integers. Integers are -1 to -infinity, 1 to infinity. These are integers. Except those, remaining all numbers can be represented with the float. Okay. Now I'll remove this logic. Float x I have taken. Now I can write printf. Now what I have to use? Percentile f. Okay. Comma x. I'm printing output x. The value of x is printed as output. The value of x is printed as output. Now let's understand. No errors, no warnings. Output is 10.52000. No, even though you have not given these four zeros, 10.52 only given, but 10.520000 you are getting, because it will take total length of the float. Okay, so the remaining, that means after decimal point, zeros does not have any value. So but that's the intention here. Float will take all the decimal number, decimal points, how much length maybe it will take. Now let's say I go 10.5 only, we'll see. So 10.2 I have given. Let's see what we get. 10.2000005 up to 5 means up to 6 decimal points it will give definitely. All right, now let's see what if I give character char. Now if I give char, I should not give decimal numbers here. So what I have to give, I need to give any name. Let's say I'm giving, which stands for Industech. So my output, this specification, conversion specification should be percentile C, because I'm using characters. That's why I need to use percentile C. Now I can get the output of, that is the value present in X variable. Okay. See the errors, no warnings. Check the output. Now I got I. Now can I have more? Print X. Let's say I'll take y equal to s, let's say. Okay, I have taken this one. Now can I print both x and y? Yes, of course. Take 2 percentile C and write down x comma y. That's it. Okay, you'll get it now. No errors, no warnings. Is, but there is no space. Now can I give tab space? Yes. Can I give tab space backslash t? I space s. I got Industech Solutions. I got this one. Can I have string? So in C, this is not possible directly. Okay. So any character, any number of characters we can use here, right? Now let's understand input output functions. Now what are input output functions? Input is scanf. Now till now you have not given any input to the C program. Okay. What is output function? Printf. These are the two functions. So this is the syntax to write a scanf function printf. Okay. Now let's see how do you write a scanf function. Let's say I have declared x. Let's declare it as integer int x. Int x. Now let me read the variable. I'll write first output function printf, and I'm asking the user. I'm asking the user enter any value of x. Enter any value of x. Now once you have entered, the C compiler has to take the input. For that, it will take the help of scanf function. That means whatever input you entered in the output console, that will be scanned by the compiler. For which we need to write scanf. Okay, percentile d you have to use as an integer, comma, always use ampersand x. That means what is the meaning of ampersand here? Ampersand is used to read input, and it indicates what? Indicates, or I can say uh, it points to address of a variable. Okay, this is the meaning of the ampersand here, the character ampersand we are using here, right? Now once you scan, the same thing you can print percentile d comma x. Okay, now let's see this one. Check the errors. No errors, no warnings. Check the output. Enter x value. Now let me enter 10, and I should get output 10. Whatever value I entered, I got the answer. Right now I can have x plus plus, which means that uh, I'm getting increment. Okay, I'll get the output increment. Let me check that one. Enter any value 10. I should get output 11. Yes, I got it. Right. Like one more time. Let's give me 100. So I should get 101. Got it. So this is the importance of different functions here. Now what we learned in this program, you understood earlier what is integer, what is float, what is character, how do you print them, all these things. Now in this program you understood what is printf, what is scanf. That means scanf means it is reading the input. See, once again observe. Now enter any value of x. It is asking the programmer. Now I am the programmer. I am entering 100. Now when I give 100, the C compiler is taking the input because of scanf function. It takes the input 100. It will understand. Okay, it will understand the program logic and gives you the output, required output. The required output is increment of x. Increment of x is what? X plus plus, which means 100 becomes 101. I got 10, right? 101 I got. This is the importance of I got 101 because of output function printf. I have given input 10, sorry, input 100. Okay, and this is read by the scanf function. I think it's cleared. Am I right? Take the screenshot, everyone. All right. How many of you got the clarity now? Clarity on the subject. Are you getting? Yes. Vashita, Madhavi, Rafikuddin, Priyashni, Arnita. Yes. You got more clarity now. Now, if you proceed, no, more and more programs we'll discuss in upcoming classes. So, by the time I complete the C programming language, when I start embedded C, it becomes very easy for you. It's like a handy. All the programs you can understand that is relevant to the microcontroller. Okay, they are very important. Now, this is a foundation, and what you are going to learn in the embedded C program is very much relevant to the program. Okay, I mean practical usage of the microcontroller and other applications, that is very much related to projects also.